What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode, I had no intention of reviewing this episode of GH today because I usually never do standalone episodes. I usually never don't. But this wasn't your typical standalone episode. It was more of a what if, which actually made me more intrigued to see what if Sonny never joined the mob. And I found this episode to be very interesting. Um, Dante became a mob boss. He became well, not a mob boss, but he became a mobster working for the Jeromes. Jason was working for the Jeromes, and Jason actually wore a suit. Um, Sam and Dante were actually married. I said, "Whoa." First of all, I didn't see that one coming. The two of them, I said, "Well, I'll be damned. Slap me two times." I said, well, shit. She had on her little fur coat and shit. I said, all right, Sam. Getting into that mob wife mentality. Sonny and Olivia were married. I could have sworn when Sonny bumped into Carly, he told her he was married with 3 children. Who's the other 2 kids? Because if Sonny never joined the mob, that means he never met Carly. So Morgan doesn't exist. Christina doesn't exist because he never moved to Port Charles. So none of those children exist. He never adopted Michael. Sonny actually became a cop. Sonny became a cop for 25 years. He's a sergeant with the NYPD. Olivia works in a hair salon. The Jeromes are running Port Charles, of course. Carly is married to AJ. Michael had to move to Singapore to run the ELQ offices because he didn't want nothing to do with the Jeromes and whatever business dealings AJ done got himself into with them. Because apparently they said that they had AJ and ELQ in their pocket. So Michael had to move to Singapore. Carly was pissed. Anna is the police commissioner. Jordan is back in the DEA's office. Alexis is back as DA because remember Alexis used to be the DA. I believe like 9 years ago, 10 years ago, she used to be DA. Um, so she's back as the DA. Robin died of her illness because remember she has HIV, but her HIV turned into AIDS and she died. I said, wow. This episode with the what if actually is more interesting than what's currently going on with the storylines. The only thing I would really change is Robin would have never died. Sonny probably wouldn't have became no cop, but I'm just saying like that's probably some things I would have changed. It's some changes I would have made, but Robin definitely wouldn't have died. I definitely wouldn't have wrote that. But this was interesting because, Dante being a mobster, this was the most interesting I've seen his character in years. I felt like had the writers wrote something like this for him months ago, years ago, I think Dominic Zapranian would have definitely stayed on the show had they wrote something like this in there. It's something interesting and fun. I feel like they fucked up in the beginning with Dante and Olivia. I feel like those two characters, when they first came on the show in 2008 and 2009, I felt like they had so much promise. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the writers screwed that up. They basically gave Dante and Sonny the same type of relationship Luke and Lucky have, which I felt was stupid. Because you're basically recreating a storyline or a situation that was already there. Luke and Lucky already had issues because their relationship, when Lucky became a cop, his relationship with Luke, it changed drastically when he became a cop. And it never recovered. It never recovered. If you really watch the show during those times, it never recovered when he became a cop. He always judged Luke because Luke was a criminal. He was a cop. Luke always had to be on his P's and Q's with him. And Sonny and Dante relationship basically was the same way. It was a little different, I will say, because Sonny and Dante knew how to separate. You know what I'm saying? And Luke and Lucky tried to do that, but it didn't always work. But with Dante and Sonny, I felt like it did. You know what I'm saying? But Sonny always was on regard, high, alert when it came to Dante and his business. You know what I'm saying? Was separating the two. His son, the cop, and him, the mobster. You know what I'm saying? Like he tried to separate that situation, which he did a good job of for the most part. But I've always felt like Dante shouldn't have became a cop. He was better as a mobster because when he first came on the show and he was working undercover for the Zakaras, and then he started working undercover for Sonny, he actually, he started working for Sonny and he was undercover. He was actually a very damn good mobster. He was a good mobster. His instincts were there. He knew what the right play to make. That's why Sonny was thinking about leaving the business to him until he found out he was a cop. Dante had what it took to be a good mobster. Because we all know Michael was never going to be in the mob. Morgan was, because they weren't cut out for that life. They weren't cut out for that shit. Dante really was cut out for it. And I really wish that they would have went that route. Because look at Days and stuff like that. Look at Stefano Demira. His sons really took up after him. Look at Andre. Look at EJ. Andre more than EJ became a lot of like, a lot like Stefano, but they followed in his footsteps for the most part. And I felt like Dante should have followed in Sonny's. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to need another, even though his last name is Falconeri, you're still going to need another Corinthos to take over at some point because Sonny ain't going to be around forever. Um, I felt like Dante would have been better off in the mob. I honestly felt like that. I feel like they fucked up making him a cop. Um, what was surprising, though, was how cold Dante was in this episode. Dante was colder than the other side of the fucking pillow. He done set up the Jeromes, dropped dime on them to the feds. They going to prison now. Um, just so he could take over their territory. And one last piece of the puzzle was for him to kill Jason. But what was shocking was the way he spoke to Sam. Like, Sam wasn't with that lifestyle. They actually wrote Sam the same way they kind of write her in the regular storylines of not wanting to be a part of the mob. She was basically like that today. She was like, this mob shit ain't for me. Dante was so cold. He was like, if you don't want the life that I gave you, I will find somebody else to replace you. I said, well, goddamn, tell her how you really feel. I said, well, that was colder than the other side of the pillow. Dante was not playing with her. Like, Dante was like, bitch, I'm going for mine. He was like, shit, I ain't being poor. I was like, damn, because he really resented Sonny. Because Sonny had the opportunity to be in the mob. He didn't take it. He chose to be a cop. And he was like, you've been on the police force for 25 years. And you have nothing to show for it. No money, no nice house. He was like, he felt his mom was going to have to work in a hair salon until she was 90 because they were so broke. I was like, wow, that resentment was there. And I feel like in regular storylines, Sonny had a lot of resentment towards Mike. Not only because Mike ran out on them, but because Mike didn't do right by the family financially. That's how Sonny felt. You know what I'm saying? He resented him for running out and also resented him for not providing a great lifestyle for them. And that's what Sonny wanted. Sonny wanted that power. He wanted that money. The big mansion, the fancy suits. He was in awe of that lifestyle. Dante turned out to be the same way. He was in awe of it. But like Dante kept reminding Sonny, I had the balls to take it. You know what I'm saying? I had the balls to step up. You didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I felt like this episode was very interesting. It was very. And I felt like, the thing is, a lot of people complain about the mob and stuff like that being in this show. I feel like that is what separates the show from other shows. I just didn't want it to be mob centric 24/7 because it is about the hospital and the Quartermains and the other families, the Hardys, the Webbers, the Spencers, the Cassadines. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want them to drift away too much from that. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't have. But it seems like they are doing that. I do feel like Olivia Falconeri needs to be shown more. Her and Ned, they need to be shown more. But I was digging this What If episode, though. I was really digging it. I didn't think I would, but I actually liked it. And I felt like, well, this is the direction y'all should have went into. You know? I think it would definitely be interesting. Like, what if Carly was still married to AJ? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if? I was digging it. I could definitely still see Carly as a Quartermain. I could see it. Not the way that she's behaving nowadays, but I could still see her as a cute. Her and Tracy going at it in the mansion and stuff like that if she was still around. It would have made for some damn good, interesting television, I'll tell you that much. I was digging this what if. Um Sam and Jason, of course, in a what if episode, they still making googly eyes at each other. I'm like, of course. The Jerome's actually being prominent and being the bosses. I was like, okay, I'm feeling that. Um, I hated that ending part where Sonny and Dante were fighting over the gun and Sonny accidentally shot Dante and Olivia came in talking about Sonny, you just shot your own son. That for those who don't know, she said the same thing in 2010 when Sonny actually shot Dante when Dante revealed he was working undercover. That's the only part about it I thought was stupid. I said, why y'all write that bullshit in there? Because I didn't like it the first time. I ain't gonna like it 8 years later either. Um, but yeah, this episode was amazing. Like him and Carly sitting at the bar, her talking about, how her husband is a drunk, how AJ, they was just trashing AJ even in this universe. They was trashing AJ. I was like, really? Um, this what if I feel like should definitely be more incorporated into regular stories. This is how this show should be right now. I'm just saying, like, if this was way more interesting and more fun, I actually really had fun watching this episode because it was more interesting than any other current storyline they got going on. The Ryan storyline is good, but this was really like pretty dope. And it made me see Dante in a whole nother light. And I was like, yo, this is who Dante should have been. From day one, Dante should have joined the mob. I never really did like him as a cop. He fits more as a mobster. And you need somebody to take over for Sonny one day. Why let it be somebody that we don't know? You know what I'm saying? Like that, you need somebody. I just felt like this was pretty cool though. Um, but Sonny ultimately chose to be in the mob. Um, but damn man, when I was watching the show, I was just hoping. I'm like, why can't the show be like this? Why? You know what I mean? It would make for better TV. Minus him and Sam being together because they had no chemistry anyway. But he was just so callous, like in this episode, and I liked it. Like I could tell Dominic Zapranian probably had some fun doing this because it kind of breathed new light, breathed new life into his character, and I felt like they should have did this from the gate. I could never really see Sonny and Olivia being married. Polar opposites. I could never see the two of them being married. When I seen the two of them that they were married, I was like, so if they got married, then that means, of course, he never married the other women, Lily, Claudia, Carly. He never married them. It was an interesting dynamic. It really was. It was totally interesting. Um, but anyway, hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I thought it was pretty well done. Um, I just can't get over it. Like damn man, I really wish this was really how it is right now. Um, I really do. I really wish that it was. It made it more interesting. I love what ifs. I really do. Um, but anyway, yeah, hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I will see you all later. Have a great day. Peace.